Hello guys, welcome to my video series of system programming and compiler construction. In my previous video, I started with one of the top-down parser, that is LL1 parser. In that video, we saw what are the various steps we need to follow to solve any numerical on LL1 parser. These steps are there on the screen. We will just revise what are these steps. The first step is to remove left recursion or left factoring if any. That is, before we start solving our numerical on LL1 parser, we need to check whether grammar has any left recursion or left factoring. If there is any left recursion or left factoring, then we need to remove it. What is left recursion? How to remove left recursion was completed by me in my previous lecture. Similarly, what is left factoring? How to remove left factoring? And I took various examples on the same in my previous lecture. In this lecture, I will show you how to calculate first and follow, how to create parsing table, then we will see what is stack implementation, and the fifth step is to create parse tree. So let us go to the second step of the numerical, that is to calculate first and follow. I will be using this grammar to explain you the concept of first and follow, and using the same grammar I will be creating the parsing table. First and follow is created for variables which are written on the left hand side of the grammar. Thus, I have created rows for variable s, b, c, d, e and f. Whenever we are calculating first, we always start from the bottom of the variable, and when we are calculating follow, we start from the top of the variables. As a rule, epsilon is allowed in the list of first, whereas epsilon is not allowed in the list of follow. Let us see how the first and follow are calculated. So as I said, when we are calculating first, we start with the bottommost variable and hence we will start with f. If you observe f, first of f is a small f. So this f will be added in the list. Also, f is having an epsilon production. I will add this epsilon production in my list. So when I say first, first means what is seen first immediately after the arrow. If I see a small letter immediately after arrow, I add that small letter in the list. Also, we see all the other productions which are there in the grammar. Let us take one more example with which the concept will be more clear. If you observe this production of E, immediately after arrow, the first I can see is a small letter G, and this G will be added to my grammar. If you observe, E has another production which starts with epsilon, and because epsilon is accepted in the list of first, I added that epsilon to my list. Now we go to the next variable, that is D. Now if you observe, for D, immediately after arrow I can see a capital letter. That is, if the first of a capital letter, pay attention, if the first of a capital letter is a capital letter, then we replace the capital letter with its first. In other words, D ka first is a capital letter E. Hence, I replace E with its first. Thus, I replace E with G and epsilon. Let us see how does this work. So D has its production as, D has its production as E and F. So a capital, if you observe, the capital letter D has its first as a capital letter. So if the capital letter is first, then I replace this capital letter with its production. So I replace E with G and I replace E with epsilon. I replace E with epsilon. Thus, my production of D will be updated as this way. D gives GF and D gives epsilon. Now if you observe, first of D is G and first of D is epsilon. So I will add this over here. First of D is G, okay, and first of D is epsilon. Since this is an epsilon and we all know epsilon means it is a null production, hence this production is now read as D giving capital F. Thus the first of D again is a capital letter. First of D again is a capital letter, hence I replace this capital letter F with its first. Thus, the production now will be updated as replacing F with its first, I get F and I get D giving epsilon. See, pay attention. What I'm doing is, with these updations, D ka first is F. Because first of a capital letter is a capital letter, I replace this capital letter with its first. Thus, I have got D giving F as one production, D giving epsilon as other production. Because of these new production, first of D is F and first of D is now epsilon. Thus, I will add F and epsilon to my list. Let us see for B. If you observe, for C, the first is a small letter which is B, which I'm adding to my list. Also, its first is epsilon, so I will add this epsilon in my list. Similarly, if you observe, immediately after arrow, I am getting a small letter for B. So this is the first of B, and immediately after arrow for S, I am getting small letter A. Hence, this is my first of S. So I have calculated first of S, B, C, D, E, F. Coming to follow. Now, when we start with follow, dollar is a default follow for the starting symbol. I repeat, when you start with follow, whatever is your starting symbol, you add dollar as its default follow. Now, let us check, can we see S on the right hand side of any production? No. S is not there on the right hand side of the production. Hence, this is the only follow of S. Now let us check B. Can I see B at the right hand side of any production? Yes. B is at the right hand side of the production. And what is following B? D is following B. Okay. D is following B. So let us understand how do we calculate follow. So if you observe, the grammar was S giving A, B, D and H. Now we are finding follow of B. If you observe, B is followed by a capital letter. If a capital letter is followed by a capital letter, then we replace that capital letter by its first. Hence, I will replace D by its first, which is G. I will replace this B by its first, which is F, and I will replace this D by its first, which is epsilon. Hence, now B is followed by G, now B is followed by F. I'm sorry, यहाँ पे it will be B epsilon H. So it will be A, B, epsilon H. Hence, B is followed by E. Thus, follow of B is G, G, F and H. I hope this is understood. Let us go for C. Now, where is C on the right hand side? So, this is the highlighted grammar where I can see. So, let us understand how to calculate follow for C. So, I'll just write it with some other pen so it is more clear. So my production for my C is visible here, B giving small c, capital C. Now if you observe, I can see a capital C over here. If you observe, nothing is following C. Thus, I can say that C is the last letter in my production. When nothing follows C, or when nothing follows any variable, that means the variable appears as the last variable, then I write follow of the variable which is on the left hand side of the arrow. Hence, I will write follow of C, which is equal to follow of B. I repeat my explanation once again. If you observe, I want to write follow of C, and C is appearing as at the last position. In other words, if you observe, nothing is following C. Thus, when C or when any variable appears at last, I write follow of the one which is on the left hand side of the grammar. Thus, follow of C will be follow of B. Follow of C will be same as follow of B. Okay, let us start with D. So if you observe, where is D in on my right hand side? Yes, D is over here. And if you observe, D is followed by small h. So I will just add small h over here. E, let us check for E. Now I'll erase this so that no confusion is there. So for E, if you observe, my grammar is D giving E and F. So again, we apply the same rule. Where is E over here? E is followed by a capital letter. When a capital letter is followed by a capital letter, I replace this capital letter by its first. Hence, F will be replaced by its first. F ka first is F, and F ka first is epsilon. Thus, E is followed by F. E is followed by F, and let us check. Okay, pay attention. So I'll just rewrite it because the writing is not so clear. Okay, so as I said, if a capital letter is followed by a capital letter, so capital letter E is followed by capital letter F. So F is replaced by its first, that is small f, and capital F is replaced by its first, which is epsilon. Because of this, I have added F in my list. You can see over here, I have added F in my list. But now if you observe this particular production, E epsilon. When I observe this production E epsilon, I'm sorry, when I observe this production E epsilon, epsilon means null string. Okay, epsilon means null string. Thus, my production is read as D giving E. Now, E has become the last variable. In other words, nothing is following E. So, whenever a variable appears as last, to write its follow, I will write follow, or I will write copy of D. I repeat, E is the last variable. So to write follow of E, I will write follow of D. And what is follow of D? It is H. So H is added. Let us check for F again. So for F, the grammar is D giving E F. Now again check. F is the last letter. So follow or F, sorry. So follow of F will be follow of D. And follow of D is what? It is H. So this is my first and follow for the given grammar. I hope students you have understood whatever I was trying to explain you all. My next video again will be on the same topic, that is LL1 parser, where I will take one more example which will make the concept more clear. Let us understand how do we create parsing table. So when we create parsing table, we will need the first and follow with us. So I will just copy this table over here. So I have first and follow with us. Okay. Now, whenever we are creating parsing table, in my rows, I will write all my variables. In my column, I will be writing my small letters. and I will add one more column for dollar. I repeat, in my parsing table, I will be writing my capital letters in my rows and my small letters in my columns, and one more column is added for dollar. So let us see how to do it. So if you observe, S, see what is first of S? First of S is A. So in the cell of S and A, in the cell of S and A, I will write its production, which is A, B, D and H. Okay. Now, what is first of B? It is C. So under B and C ka cell, I will write its production, which is B giving small c, capital C. What is first of C? First of C is B and epsilon. Pay attention over here. First of C is B and epsilon. So, and if you observe, the grammar for C was, this is my C ka grammar. Okay, I'll write here. This is my C ka grammar. So, C and B का cell में, C and B का cell में, I will write C giving BC. Okay. Now, epsilon was added in the first because of C epsilon. Now, whenever we get an epsilon, if you observe, there is no epsilon column over here. Hence, whenever we encounter epsilon, we go to follow. And whatever variables are there in follow, in all those variables, I will be writing C giving epsilon. So I will be copying this over here, C giving epsilon. I repeat, first of C was B and epsilon. Hence, in the C row and B column, I wrote its production. But for epsilon, there is no column available. So we go to follow ka column. Whatever small letters are there in follow, in all those cells, I will be writing C giving epsilon, C giving epsilon, C giving epsilon. Okay, let us check what to do with D. So if you observe, D ka production is D giving EF, and D ka first is G and F. So D ka uh, what do I say? D का G में I will write D giving EF. D का F में I will write D giving EF. But again, epsilon column is not there. Hence, for D epsilon, I will write it in H, because follow of D is what? H. Hence, in D row and H column, I will write D giving epsilon. My next grammar is E giving G or epsilon. So obviously E का first क्या है? G. तो E और G में I will write E giving G, whereas E giving epsilon will be written in the variables which are mentioned in follow. That is, F में I will write E giving epsilon, and H में I will write E giving epsilon. Similarly for F का F में I will write F giving F, and for epsilon I see the small letter which is written in follow, which is H, and in H I will write F giving epsilon. This is how my parsing table is created. I know there might be multiple students who are still confused, who might be having some doubt. So have a little patience. In my next video, I will be taking two more examples on how to solve LL1 numerical. With those examples, I am sure you all will understand the concepts. Thank you for your patience listening.